Hey Chapel Hill Port Orchard, this is Daniel on It Matters Monday. Today's topic, bitterness, and how do we deal with bitterness of 2020. So we're gonna be looking at 4 things today. We're gonna be looking at what is bitterness, why is bitterness bad, how do we become bitter, and how do we get past our bitterness in 2020. And as an added bonus, I'm gonna eat bitter food. I found out what some bitter food was, and so I bought it and I'm gonna eat it. And I'm not a person that eats a lot of crazy foods. I usually just like my standard foods, and I don't eat much. I'm not very adventurous. So if you want to see my reactions to some really gross food, check it out and you will see some of that mixed in with all my tips. So here we go. So what is bitterness? In the psychology world, they actually call it embitterment. It is an emotional state of feeling let down, of disappointment, of anger. It's almost when anger reaches a point of I'm not able to do anything about it, it becomes bitter and it becomes this thing that festers in you. All right, so let's see. Radishes. Are they bitter? I don't know. They said just pop them in your mouth like candy is what she said. So I guess I just pull off a radish and I just eat it. Do you guys know? Radish? You just pop it in your mouth. Should I eat just one? Should I eat like a couple? 5? That's not cool. I got 2 small ones. 2 small radishes at once. All right, let's see if they're bitter. Oh, there's a taste. Oh, it keeps kicking. Oh, it's so strong, like, it's like infecting my mouth. It keeps kicking. Oh, God, that's gross. That's gross. That's gross. Ugh. I don't like radish. Too bitter. No radish. So what happens when you become bitter? Well, there's all sorts of things that happen if you become bitter. It can really affect you. You can become edgy and aggressive. You can lose your libido, which nobody wants to do that. You can have sleep trouble and appetite disorders. All are associated with bitterness. And actually, you start demonstrating some what they call PTED instead of PTSD, but emotional distress, post-traumatic emotional distress, where it just continues to attack you. Even when those bitter moments, even when you're out of that time that you should be out of bitterness, it continues to attack you and it continues to affect you psychologically, and it is not a good state to be in for anybody. So what causes bitterness? And it could be a lot of things. It could be a single act. It could be a repetitive act that happens over and over. But generally what it comes down to is a sense of hurt that one has no control over, where they get to the point that they no longer feel like they can control an environment or they can control the outcome. And it feels like there's a hope that is just lost, and you drop that hope and you just have where you feel very victimized and very hurt by situations that are out of your control. All right, so this is endive. Have you ever seen this before? So she says, cut off the bottom and eat the rest. Eat it like lettuce. Just pop it in your mouth and eat that part. This whole thing. Endive. Endive? Still got that radishy taste, right? Doesn't taste like much of anything yet. Oh, that's not bad. Kind of just tastes like grass, that one. Maybe further down. That's not good. Oh, further down. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Why would anybody eat this? Like, why would you see this and buy it and taste like this and want more? Oh, this one is bad. The smell of it's even worse. Oh. So what can you do to battle your bitterness? Well, first thing I would say is go to your social media feeds and check your scroll. When you look at your scroll, what you scroll through, it's actually not just what was posted last, but it's algorithms based off of your viewing history. And they see not only what you clicked on and commented on or shared, they also see what makes you stop and linger because they assume you've read it but maybe not commented on it. And then they start producing more and more. Your YouTube does this, your Facebook does this. They start producing more and more things that keep you hooked. And if you're hooked on things that are causing bitterness, that are hurting you, maybe it's a political thing, maybe it's just a negative person. If you keep clicking on them and keep following that and keep looking at that, the algorithms are going to keep showing it to you. And so you can see on your scroll if you're investing in things that are actually making you more or less bitter. And so if you're seeing things that only are angering you, that's not because everyone in the world's posting those things. It's because that's what you're looking at and that's what you're lingering on, and that's what's causing your bitterness in a lot of cases. So change your scroll. And so the way you change your scroll is to actually seek out people people that have positive things on their social media output and look at those, linger on those. Click on articles that bring you joy, not that bring you anger or pain or hurt. And look at those things and focus your mind on those things on your scroll. And continue to scroll quickly past the things that bring you bitterness. If there's somebody, hit snooze, hit silence, and put them away for a while where you don't see them. But the longer you linger, the more you read, the more you comment on things that make you bitter, the more those algorithms are going to present you with things that feel out of control for you, that feel negative and out of control. So check your scroll and then change your scroll and start finding people in your life that are on those feeds that are saying something different, that are bringing you real life and not just bringing you bitterness and pain that you don't need in your life. Okay, wasabi flavored crackers. All right. Oh, how many should I eat? These are really thin. Do you think I'll get the full wasabi-ness out of one? Put the taste side down. Just one. It should be good. That side feels like it's got like more salty stuff to it. Okay, so wasabi cracker, taste side down. Oh, wow. Oh, that hit. Oh, whoa, oh. That's awful. It's like drop kicking my tongue. Oh, that's awful. Why would anybody make this? I think, okay, the taste is now gone. So it's not as lingering as the other ones. The other ones were like, at first, not bitter, and then like slammed you. Taste gone. I can actually swallow the actual cracker now. The second thing is have a morning time for what you aren't going to accomplish this year. I know 2020 has been hard for a lot of people. So I know in my life, I've lost a couple family members this year. My plans have changed. I had to move across the world in large part due to COVID. And I know that it's really easy to get angry and bitter. And then when I watch different things on the news, it's hard. I'm not getting what I wanted out of this year. And so I need to take a time to step back and say, why is it hurting so bad? What did I lose? And really mourn those. Maybe have a fake funeral for them and write down the things that you lost and put them in that and have that sadness and then bury those and start moving on from those and come up with new goals, new things that you can do, new celebrations you can do that you can look forward to and put away those old things that you really were looking forward to that aren't going to happen and don't linger on them and start moving forward. But first, mourn them, then move forward. Spend the time you need to because if you just try to blow past them, they're going to come back up. So make sure you spend the time mourning them. Sea salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar chips. I haven't had salt and vinegar chips since I was a kid. I have no idea. Salt and vinegar chip. It says, great taste naturally. This stinks. Can you smell that? You want to have one after? Okay, let me see if they're any good. Okay, that one has a kick, but it's nowhere near the other ones. The wasabi chips are gross, beets are gross, endive is gross. The salt and vinegar ones, not the best right at first, but I could handle that one. But it's not great. Ugh. Number 3, the third tip here is thankful people are seldom bitter. If you are a thankful person, it's really hard to be angry at the situation you're in. If you are thankful for the good things that you got that you didn't deserve, it's a lot easier to not focus on the things you thought you deserved and didn't get or that got taken away or you got something different. Be thankful, and if you need to, write down a thankful list. Maybe start tomorrow and write down one thing you're thankful for or 10 things or 100 things. Go beyond what you think you can do and figure out more things you're thankful for. And the more things you write down, the more things you discover that you're thankful for. My last thing here is find a purpose in your life. For me, my purpose is in my faith, and I've discovered my purpose through God, and my joy comes from God. In my belief system, it says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So when God is delighted, I'm delighted. And so I find joy in getting closer to my Creator and learning what He has for me. And maybe that's for you, and maybe you aren't finding your purpose there, but find your purpose and live into that purpose of who you are and what you're doing, and you'll start to see that bitterness dissolve a bit. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me. Next week, hopefully we get to start talking about change a little bit and what that's gonna look like in our lives in 2020. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you share this out with any friends and tag your friends in it that you think really need some help with how to get past this bitterness. We'd love to have you guys do that. Remember, if it matters to you, it matters to God. We'll talk to you next week.